welcome to Nearing Nirvana. This is episode 88 of Long Story Short. How are y'all?
We 88, right? That's the speed the DeLorean hits before it fucking goes into the past, right? So into the future. So we probably should have had some Back to the Future books on the show tonight.
Going
That's my
back to the
mistake.
future.
That's my mistake.
Yeah. Well, you have to go like 89, right, to break the sound barrier? Isn't that right? Because doesn't it keep on increasing speed? You just have to hit 88, right? So anything after
88 mile, you're gonna see some serious shit when you hit episode 88. So hopefully hopefully it lives up to expectations. So
It's
everything is good.
1.21 gigawatts. It's some serious shit, bro.
What was I thinking?
The flex capacitor, bro.
Dude, I'm still waiting for mine from O'Reilly's.
Last night, Darth Vader came down from the planet Vulcan and said, if I didn't ask Lorraine out to the Enchantment Under the Sea dance, he'd melt my brain. I almost saw that movie every day before I went to school, bro.
One of the greatest movies of all time, and I'm not willing to debate it. So, anyways, happy to be here. So we missed you guys last week. In fact, it was the 4th of July, and I'm sure you all had better things to be doing than hanging out with us. So, but we're back with a bunch of comic books to talk about.
Oh, don't lie for us. You know, I was too drunk to be on. I
had to work the next day, so I was in functioning shape. But like I said, other people were doing things better than hearing people yip yap about comic books.
Yeah, I was off on the 5th that Friday, and then I was off on Monday for a hurricane. Yeah. So,
hey man, I'm glad you didn't get fucked up by that. So
that hurricane came at me and then went towards Yee.
Yeah, he sent it to me and Nate. He was like, kind of like, stay away from my collectibles. Head towards theirs. All right. Let's see. Let's add this to the stage. Normal disclaimer. You know, buy all these books at high prices. You know, and brag about it.
Forget about hunting for comic books. Just pay obnoxious prices. All joking aside, we do the show to help you guys when hunting for comic books. Do what you want, but you can do better than paying eBay prices. So, all right, let's get into it. All right, Avengers vs. X-Men Axis number 9. This is kind of an Adam Hughes book I don't hear come up that often. It's a 1 in 100, and this is a 1 in 100 before we were seeing store exclusive. So a legit 1 in 100. A 9.8 sold last year for $71, which is a good deal because you can't really find these for raws for less than that typically. Only 28 on the census, 14 and 9.8. But an Adam Hughes cover that I feel is flying a little under the radar. Who's got it? Carter, you got this?
No, I don't have it.
I don't even know if I have the Access Deadpool cover.
Which one is that?
It's one of those weird incentives. I think it's like a 1 in 25 or something like that. I don't forget what issue it's for as well.
Yeah, I think this one's actually pretty well done. It's not the first cover.
It's awesome, dude. Like I've maybe seen it once, and you pop it on the screen like, and it looks brand new, dude. Like, and it's just odd that number 9 variant Marvel at the top is that really on there? It's like so different, man.
Yeah, it's got an interesting vibe to it, and Hughes has obviously probably one of the top 4 or 5 most rabid fan bases for collectors in the hobby, and one that just doesn't come up in conversation that often.
Yo, what's up, Leverage?
Anyways,
do you have one?
I don't have one. I don't.
Okay. I've
seen it a couple times for ratio. I don't want to pay ratio for a book like this. Arguably, it might be worth it, but I don't have it. I don't have this one. It's just sort of one I've eyed over the years.
I don't like Rogue's outfit. I remember seeing that outfit and going, what happened to the Jim Lee style? with the
Yeah, I mean that was the
jacket?
Rogue we all fell in love with, right? That
Yeah.
era of Rogue. I don't hate this one, but I hear you.
Who created this outfit? Who created this costume?
The hood is too big. I mean, the hood is, right. I mean,
She looked crazy,
John Tyler Christopher.
man.
No, I'm just joking. I don't
I
think
mean that's Polaris below. I mean that's actually really well done.
I couldn't even tell who that was.
I'm pretty sure that's Polaris, right?
Yeah,
I thought it was Enchantress.
Is
Okay.
it? It kind of looks like, it kind of looks like Enchantress.
I mean, they're both green with glowing hands and like a thing on their head. I don't know. It could go either way, right? Green hair.
Yeah.
I always thought Polaris was Magneto's daughter.
She is.
She is?
Yeah.
Okay.
But she's more connected to the X-Men, right? And I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then Rogue would be the Avengers side?
Yeah.
No, Rogue is Rogue is the X-Men. Enchantress is Avengers.
Okay.
So this is an Avengers X-Men title. So I would think it would be someone like polar opposite instead of like two of the same team.
Adam Hughes just needed another hoe to draw.
See, what really happened was he submitted 2 pieces of artwork and they combined it into one and paid him only once. No, I don't know.
I'm sure all that is true. Listen, Rogue's got the gloves off. She's ready to fuck shit up. So,
a lot of people are saying Enchantress.
All right. I'll take it.
Yep.
I mean, if it was black and white, it could be Scarlet Witch. You know, like, who knows, right?
I know, right? It could be. So, someone told me like I should take it back to the call and ask if he can add some like green streaks into her hair. Was that
would
you?
Clear up the conversation. No, it was. I forget. I might have been on the show when that was that McClay. I forget who suggested that. I know the show.
It might have been McClay. I feel like it was either McClay or it might have been Stein.
Yeah, one of those two guys. But.
Yeah, that's a great point. If that's black and white, you're saying that's Scarlet Witch, man. It's a great.
Oh,
point.
That's how I'm gonna sell it.
Oh, yours?
But I'm not gonna sell it, so it doesn't matter. All right,
let's keep the show going. All right, Grommets #1. This book has been really hot. This 1 in 25 really hits for me. Like I grew up skateboarding during the time period this was written. If you haven't read this book yet, it's phenomenal. If you like, the whole skateboarding culture and all of that, this cover I think is amazing. Now the 1 in 10, which we'll talk about in a minute, is selling for really respectable prices. This 1 in 25 has become an absolute ghost, but
really,
but this really hits a lot of notes for me, to be honest with you, and you just don't see these out there. This book kind of flew under the radar when it came out. Didn't seem like orders were heavy on it, so this book is tough to come by. I was lucky enough to find one at a store in Albany, just on the shelf, for about ratio, just a little bit above.
Nice.
And I bought it, but I'd been looking for one online, and they were, they were, 3 and 4 times that, and I was like, you know what? Do I pull the trigger? I think this thing's going to be a ghost. I don't know, but yeah, an amazing book. So
what's it selling for? Like $50?
Nothing has sold recently on it, man. To be honest with you, there really haven't been many sales. Is the thing on this one. The 7-Eleven went for big money. There are plenty of the 1 in 10s. We're going to talk about that one in a second. But this one, I think, is going to go complete ghost status at some point. If you look, Aaron, if you go to the next slide, so this one's done well. It's going for about 75 to 100 raw. It's by Dave Lippum. It says a 1 in 25 here. I fucked that up. Sorry, it's a 1 in 10. But I mean, this cover is fantastic. But but it's available. The 1 in 25s are hardly out there. The last time I checked,
how old is this book?
like last month, like it's brand new.
Oh, okay.
The story is great. I mean, if you were skateboarding during this time in the late 80s, early 90s, like it hits on a lot of cool things that people would like. So Chad says there's 2 on eBay asking 100. So those are relatively new. When I was looking for it, there was nothing. So that's good to know.
Buy one, Chad. One of those is my ghost account. No, I was joking.
The funny thing about this book, when I saw this book, I thought about another comic book. Like so this one is hit, and I only this looks really familiar to me. So if you go to the next cover,
Oh yeah.
I mean, come on, there's similar vibes going on. I know it's not identical, but the 7-Eleven, the dude skateboarding in the background. You also got,
it's just changed the angle, right?
A samurai sword, which is hard to beat. I've always loved this comic book.
Same writer, isn't it? Remender?
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about that, Joe, when I made the comparison. It was honestly just the vibe of it. That's a great point. Deadly Class, one of the more underrated comic books out there, to be honest with you. And today is 7-Eleven. I mean, listen, this is all serendipity. So this was not planned, but
I need to go hit up a 7-Eleven, go get my free slushie.
Free Slurpees.
Or what is it? Fill up your own cup.
Big gulps, the big gulps, right? Or is it?
Yeah. It's like bring your own cup day or whatever. Is
that canon with Deadly Class, Grommets?
No, I mean I don't think they made that connection yet, but that would be kind of a cool one to make.
Would it be a different time period? Because isn't Grommet Grommet looks like it's focused around the 80s.
I would say late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah. And then
the book says 1987 on the cover.
And then I don't remember if they time period Deadly Class, but I mean I was listening to the Robservation podcast, so Rob Liefeld's, and he was talking about 7-Eleven a lot in his podcast, just because of he remembers picking up books from the rack or whatever, and then that he could always convince his parents to buy him a Slurpee or whatever, and then he would use his money to buy a comic.
I used to buy comics at 7-Eleven all the time off the rack, man, all the time. So hey, listen, we've got some viewers coming in real quick from the Shaker Show. Thank you for joining us. That's the best show in the game. So happy to have you all here. Hey, Sean is watching. Bro, dude, if you ever want to hop on the show, man, let us know. We would love to have you on, man. If you guys aren't following Big Leg, which I can't imagine any of you aren't, follow him. He is one of the most knowledgeable guys in the comic book game.
I'm excited. I get to hang out with him in person soon.
So what?
It's always a fun time when you get to hang out with Sean.
Whatever, man. I'm all jealous.
That's pressing. That's presser fucking competition right there, right? Red Hood versus Big Leg.
No, man. Actually, when I went to the con, Big Leg was one of the main ones that nobody else would talk to me. And Big Leg was the only one talking to me. So kiss my ass, Aaron.
What are you talking about? We hung out the entire weekend.
Okay. I was.
Remember, because I had been up all night drinking with Leg, and then I met you in the morning. You're like, you're still awake? I was like, yep, I got my 2-hour nap.
Yeah, but you didn't invite me to go drinking, so I could, probably.
We invited you every night. We hit you up every single time. Like, hey, we're headed to blah 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 bar, and then it just becomes an all night thing. That's how it always starts. Oh, we're just going out for one drink.
Oh, it always starts that way, doesn't it? All right,
hardly
let's
get
keep
used
the
to.
show going. Let's keep the show going before we lose everyone.
Right.
All right, this is a submission by Liger Style. Thank you, brother. So this is a Silver Surfer Black #1, a Will Sliney exclusive variant. This was a store exclusive, but this is really, really well done, right? I mean, this Silver Surfer and Galactus. I mean, the execution on this is nearly perfect. I hadn't seen this one before, to be honest with you, before he sent it to me.
I want to say it looks familiar, but I don't think I have it in my collection, which I'm upset.
I definitely don't have it, but I think it's really well done.
Man, I thought I had all the Silver Surfer Black variants.
Well, that's why you got to use the Cover Price app, right?
That's
make
right.
To make sure you have all the covers, and if you haven't signed up for the app already, you could use the code Nirvana14 for a 30-day unlimited membership for only 99 cents.
Yeah, where's our cover price swag at, man? We need cover price swag.
If you did not see the message, you're supposed to email Matt DeVoe with shirt size and hat. I sent a screenshot last week.
Yeah, I've got to reach out.
We wore on last week.
I need a cover.
Or 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, then, because he heard that your comment and was like, "Oh, where's the cover price swag?" And he's like, "If any of the panelists want swag, email me hat size and t-shirt size." I think they have two different hat sizes, is what it is.
Okay, you're gonna have to resend that to me.
Okay, I'll text it to you. Anyways.
Yeah, but Cover Price, and all joking aside, is the best resource for comic books. I spend a lot of time every day just poking around that site. So well worth however many bucks a month they charge. I don't even remember, but it's worth it. So all right.
Yeah, and then when I was on the show with DeVoe, like, he was showing me all the new add-ons that they recently.
Well, he took away one of my favorite freaking sort features, though. So I had to be like, dude, why don't you put this back? Because in the variant section, you can't sort by most recent sale anymore. And I'd always go through and just see what's going. It's just by trend. And I'm like, dude, I want to see what's selling recently. And he's like, good point. I don't know why. I don't know how we deleted that, but so
yeah,
they're putting that back on. So.
Oh, and then
Igor. Listen to Igor, man. He pays $20 a year. I thought it was more than that, but that's a steal, right? That's a couple bucks. That's a couple bucks a month.
Yeah, I easily spend more than that on a prescription or subscription to whatever streaming service per month on just one, right?
You buy a comic book every month. That's you wish you didn't for that price. So all right,
yeah,
let's keep going.
Yeah.
All right, another book by our boy Liger Style. Thank you. Money Shot Comes Again #1. Alexis Flower 1 in 50 variant.
What a great title, man.
The artist name too, that was creative. Having a flower. I'm sure they have a bees.
I've never seen this in the flesh. I've seen it online, but I've never seen this book, in person.
But how do you see it in person? Like, if they're all polybagged?
Yeah, but is this one like blacked out, or is it? I don't even remember how this one was packaged, to be honest with you. I know some of them are, but this one isn't that gratuitous where they had to black it out, right? I mean, some of them are over the top for sure, but this one, but this one is, I don't think is quite that. I don't think they need to, right? There's no real nudity on this thing anywhere. YouTube, if you're listening.
I mean, I don't really see anything.
Yeah, so my guess is that this was just sort of open, but anyways, yeah, definitely a fun pickup.
But then again, like, how many stores are really ordering 50 copies?
50 copies of this, I agree. Like, nobody was.
I mean, like,
do you know what the cover A was that would possess them to order 50? Like,
I don't remember the cover. I mean, I got the cover A for this one. I can't remember. Was this the one with the cucumber, or was that from the original series?
let me see, because if it's a halfway decent cover, then you could see maybe
50's a lot for a book like this. It's just
Yeah.
not. It's not the audience most LCSs are selling 50 books to.
So what's this book about?
Coming again.
Sex in space with aliens, basically.
Ah, okay.
You got to come again. And find out.
It's kind of hilarious if you ever read it. I mean, I've read a bunch of these. I mean, it's kind of ridiculously hilarious. But
Oh, and there's a 1 in 100 for this as well.
oh shit! Really? Wow.
Wow. Had no idea. I'll probably never see that book.
It's just spread
oh,
eagle.
I see the one with the cucumber. Okay.
All right, let's keep going.
That's a good one.
So this is a love-hate discussion for me. These Mile High variants, I hate that place.
Yeah.
That said, they definitely produced a handful of really good covers. Here's another Mark Brooks that they did. Deadpool kills Deadpool #1. A 9.8 sold, hasn't sold in a while. It's almost been, 4 years. Back in 2020 for only $40. Only 27 of these on the census, 21 and 9.8. But getting that damn beaver off the cover would help all of these books.
Mm-hmm.
For this particular cover, it's not as bad as some of the other ones, right?
I agree. It's kind of tucked in the bottom. I do agree with that.
It
even
fits in,
so.
like it fits in with the theme of a fight poster or whatever that you would see sponsor ads at the bottom or whatever. But I mean, at the same time, it is annoying to see that stupid beaver on the cover.
Like if these people that have their logo on the front of the book are really collectors and love comics, I mean, I find that hard to believe, because I mean, they gotta know that shit sucks. I mean, they got to, like,
$60 on their website now.
Like, if you're putting an exclusive out or something like that, you got to look at it through the lens of us. Like, what is your customer gonna think? And surely, like, they wouldn't look at it. Oh, I'm so glad they put the beaver on it. It's gonna make it work more. Right? We're gonna be doing this show. Does it have the beaver on it? Ah, man, you missed out. You got to get the one with the beaver.
It's not what you like, it's what the consumer likes.
Right.
Yeah, they've had some really good covers over the years that have just been destroyed by that. But anyways, this thing's kind of obscure. I don't know if they ever publicly said what they limited their print runs to, but it feels like they're relatively low because you don't see their books everywhere. The ones that they produced back in the day, you just don't see them all over the place, and some of them go for big bucks.
I can't remember if I have this or not. I don't think
I'm in the same boat, Aaron. I was like, do I have this damn thing? Like,
I don't have this one.
Are there any other variants for this run?
From
Deadpool kills Deadpool?
Mile High?
Oh yeah.
No, just Deadpool kills Deadpool.
Yeah, we talked about one on the show way back. It was like a Secret Wars cover with all versions of Deadpool on it.
Okay, I do remember that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there's others as well, but
Yeah.
that was another one we talked about on the show.
The worst logo placement ever.
Yeah, no shit, man. What's up, Eric?
Sometimes the publisher doesn't puts titles wherever.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways.
All right. There's a lot to say about Marvel Comics 1000. When Marvel Comics 1000 came out, there were 43 different covers that came out for a $10 cover price book. Now, if you do the math on that, that means that there were less than 5,000 copies ordered per book. Okay. If you assume that they were equally spread around amongst those 21,000, which they absolutely were not. Right. They absolutely were not. The cover A was heavily ordered. If you went to comic shops, they had a stack of cover A's and a couple of the other ones typically.
There were store variants for this book too, weren't there?
There were a handful of store variants as well, like the White Queen and a few others.
I mean, but that's accounted for.
Yes, that's in the numbers.
In the numbers as well.
That should be included in the numbers. So essentially what you're looking at is books. Most of these variants, not all, but most of them are one per store, right? A store may get one, if that, right, of a $10 book on the shelf to sell. So this one, I just wanted to point it out because it had Blonde Phantom on it. Blonde Phantom is kind of a thing right now, with the rumor that Marvel may be doing that project. If I saw this out in the wild for $5, half cover, I would be buying this every day of the week. I think the bigger story is it worth buying all of these variants if you find them for $5? Because it's hard to know exactly what the print runs are. Some are better than others, right? Like the cover A, I'd stay away from because, like I said, there are a bunch of them. But is it worth grabbing these for cheap? Cheap enough when you're out there looking? Because it's at $4,000 a piece, roughly $4,500 a piece. That's a relatively low printed book by Marvel standards.
Seems like
especially if you could get it in a high grade. Absolutely. I mean, that's a low buy-in, honestly. I mean, that's just, but to each their own. But I definitely, I like this cover, and I definitely dig on the play with Blonde Blonde Phantom.
Yeah.
Was this the book that had that mini origin story of Wolverine in it?
So every page was drawn and written by a different team for a different year in the comics.
Okay. And he had that entrance scene or whatever. Panel or whatever.
Yeah. So it's an interesting read, but like the whole book you don't read through. It's just like, and the one that blew my mind is the one where Kelly Thompson wrote the page about Elsa Bloodstone and Jeff the Landshark. Two characters I really like. And connected those two characters. It just was like, how the hell are they doing this?
I heard a rumor that Jeff the Shark is going to come out in the Deadpool movie.
No shit, really? That would be fucking crazy.
It's almost. I'll tell you after the show.
All right. We don't need to be breaking rumors on this show that we have no idea if they're true or not. But anyways, I would buy this book for $5.
But 35 minutes has been shown of the film.
And no sighting of Jeff in those first 35 minutes?
I don't know. Have you seen
the Daredevil cover was really good. I think it was Adele Otto, Paul, who did the Daredevil. Was free. There was a Virgin and a trade dress for that one.
The She-Hulk was the was that DeCall that did that? Tedesco. Yeah. There you go.
That's
that
really
one.
cool.
That one I picked up a while back, and that's one of my favorites.
But I was going through them the other day. I'm like, I haven't seen so many of these covers. Like, I just hadn't seen them. When you do over 40, but anyways, something to maybe think about when you're digging. If you find these things, certainly in dollar bins, they're probably worth grabbing without thinking. Just given a $10 cover price, you could probably flip that for $5 easy. But this one I thought was pretty cool.
I want to know how they got from 1 to 1,000.
Listen, Aaron, those are questions you shouldn't be asking. Just accept it, and we'll move on.
I'm going to San Diego, and I'm going to ask Marvel. How'd you go from Marvel Comics #1 to 1,000? Explain. Show your math.
Show me the receipts, goddammit.
Yeah.
You may find a bundle of all 43 covers for like $20 at SDC, right?
I have no idea. I've never been, so I'll let you know.
Well, they have a lot of back issues, right? Like, don't a lot of dealers go out there?
I can't handle the truth, but that's why I ask these questions.
Okay, what else we got on this show tonight? All right, we're talking about some Paul Green. Paul Green is a highly collected artist. Shout out to my friends at the Hall of Comics. John there has recently been collecting some Paul Green books. Most of his stuff, when I say most, the overwhelming majority of his stuff is through Zenescope. He's doing those candy covers and those cereal covers, those boxes that you can buy. His stuff goes for a pretty penny. I mean, Sean is who may be still watching. I mean, he was one of the biggest proponents of Paul Green when his I forget the book, but it was the Boba Fett cover. The girl dressed as Boba Fett that went nuts a few years ago, or probably more than a few years ago now. But anyways, this is he did some work on this Flash Gordon series that's not Zenescope, and his non-Zenescope stuff is pretty few and far between. I think there's somebody asking $40 for this book on eBay, which I'm not telling you to pay $40 for this book. Please do not do that. But this is a book probably worth grabbing if you find it in the dollar bins.
Man, they had this book forever on Midtown for a couple of bucks.
For nothing. Yeah, I mean, this is Arden Entertainment from 2008. I can't imagine this was a super high print run. It was shipped 50-50, meaning that when you ordered a copy of this book, you got... I was trying to reconcile this a little bit because there were actually 3 covers for this book, and they all said they were shipped 50-50. Like, how the fuck do you ship every book? If you order one, you get 50-50 over 3 books. Like that math doesn't obviously work. But regardless, you couldn't order this. It was just split amongst your order. Yeah, like I said, Paul Green's got a pretty rabid fan base.
Seems like Paul Green and John Royal and Campbell, like they all follow the same kind of like Art Adams kind of.
Well, I think honestly, I mean, I don't want to call these guys out, but I think Campbell blazed the trail, and Green was inspired by him, and Royal was inspired by him. If I were to call it as I see it, if somebody knows better, by all means, let me know. But I mean, it seems like Campbell broke that ground, and he inspired a couple of disciples, for lack of a better term. All right, so let's talk about more ridiculously obscure Paul Green books. So, listen, I'm not the biggest fan of the royal family, but apparently in England, there was a comic book called William Windsor that somehow Paul Green ended up doing the cover for.
That's
interesting.
Crazy. Yeah, man, that's cool.
So that means he's connected with the Illuminati? Is that what
I have no idea, man. You go ahead and connect those dots as much as you'd like.
That's for the Joe Rogan podcast to discuss.
But I saw this and I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is weird. But we talked about.
You take the guy off the cover, man. That's a hot book, bro.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Right.
like, dude, get out of the way.
Well, you know what? If you like this one, you may like the next one. Aaron, do you mind going to the next book? There's a Kate Middleton version as well, done by Paul Green.
I'll take that. Well, yeah, I'll take that one.
Because Prince is kind of blocked out in the back a little bit. Now, there's obviously a fair amount of controversy around Kate Middleton currently. We're not going to get into. But, these are the kinds of books that can catch fire when certain, events play out. And anyways, I had never seen these. I came across these looking for something else. I'm like, what the hell is this? And I just thought I would share it with all of you.
That's wild.
A very private princess.
Aaron, you're not stacking a bunch of these that you're telling us about?
No. I didn't do my blood oath to get into the Illuminati, so like that never finalized. So I wouldn't eat a baby.
Princess.
Sorry.
You see that? A very private princess.
Oh, damn. They were telegraphing it.
All laid out in the comic book. That's why you can't get these. They got them and they burnt them all.
Mm.
I heard when you open this book, it goes dun 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 dun.
All right. Carter, this one's all you, man.
All right, so we got Sense and Sensibility number 4. So this is a Scotty Young cover, oddly enough. And so less than 3,000 copies ordered. Wow.
Yeah, it was like just over 2,900 when I looked it up on Comic-Con.
Yeah, because I was like dollar digging, and I'm just like, oh, that's definitely Scotty Young.
Mhm.
And I did like a search on like an eBay search, and there are no affordable copies of this. Like the only ones that are available are in like 1 through 5 sets, and people want like $100 plus for them. So I think this is definitely a book worth. I had asked Ben if this was long story short worthy, and he said yes. So blame him for this.
This is right there, man. These are the kind of Scotty Young books that people are going fucking bananas for right now. So I imagine that we're going to see some of these shake loose here in the not too distant future and sell for big money because people are going nuts for his older stuff.
It's weird because it's just like you would think he would do the entire set 1 through 5, but no, it's just one cover for one issue. That's it.
It's weird, yeah. They just needed someone to fill in, and you know, this was before he was the superstar that he is today. So yeah, this is an awesome find, man. I love this.
Interesting.
All right, we're not going to leave the Scotty Young conversation just with this. Let's talk about a few others. This is the Spider King number 1. This is a very tough Scotty Young. A copy just sold last month for $265 and 9.8.
Wow.
It's a 1 in 10 from IDW in 2008. Only 5 9/8 of this on the census.
You mean only 3?
Sorry, 5 total, 3 and 9.8. Excuse me. 5 total, 3 9.8. This is a very, very, very difficult book to find.
What do I feel like?
Anybody
Mel's like
got
one of those. What do I feel like? Mel's one of those people with one of the 9/8s. I know he has this book.
I bet you.
I know he has this
I
book.
wouldn't be
at
surprised
least
if Mel had it. I would not be surprised in the least if he had this because fucking dude comes up with everything. It seems like.
It's because he used to get drunk and buy anything, right?
Listen, I guess it's not a bad strategy, man.
He'll let the streets decide. That's one thing that pops in my head when you bring up Mel V. So let the streets decide.
Yeah. And then like he finds the book like 3 years later? Like when did I find this?
Yeah, I found this on a short box, in the back of my in my back of my closet or something. So
yeah.
This is a fun book. Listen, I gotta, I love the respect Scotty Young is getting lately. He deserves it. Not only is he a cool artist, he just seems like a really cool guy. Just a super cool guy. So, all right, this is not the last Scotty Young book on the show tonight, though. So this thing's kind of ghost-worthy.
Yeah.
Digital Webbing presents number 2. This is a Scotty Young book from 2002, so way back. Digital Webbing was the publisher. A copy of this sold recently for $100 raw. I couldn't find anything graded on this book.
Somebody had posted like 3 of these sold like in the last couple of weeks.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, on eBay. I thought it was you. It might have been somebody else, but
I don't think it was
like
me.
Over 100, 150, and I think there was a graded one too.
So maybe someone's sitting on a stack of these, which would be obviously good information to have if you're looking for this book. But these are the kind of books right now for Scotty Young that are, fetching crazy money on books like this. When I
So-
did a check on eBay, I didn't think I saw any, but maybe I missed it. I could have missed it, so don't quote me on that, please.
I was
So
looking. I was looking at this book last week. I was almost going to put that on Hot Book Alert, but I didn't. But yeah,
Was it the one that sold for $100 raw?
yeah. And there's also that. I think I forget number one. It had a chick on the cover.
So in this book, you learn how the HTML code. Is that what this is?
It's
All right.
embedded in there, yes.
I embedded it. That was good.
All right. I'm posting this book as a challenge to the fucking anybody on the show. Sensational She-Hulk number 52. It's an early Adam Hughes cover from 1993. I have never seen a newsie of this book. Never. If somebody can prove it exists, we'll give away something, but I can't find one to save my life.
I've tried. And
You ever see anything? I can't even find a picture online that it exists.
no. Just like with Young Blood number 1, I got a theory that there's a newsstand of that, but I've never seen it.
Youngblood number 1, I get it's early image. Maybe they hadn't cut the deals with the newsstand distributors yet. I can see that. There are plenty of She-Hulks from this era that have newsies, right? I mean, all over the place. But for this goddamn book, I can't find one. So if anybody can find one, hit us up. Any of us on the panel, we will give you huge credit and we will show it on a future episode.
Have you checked my comic shop? If they had anything listed on there?
I didn't see. I mean, dude, I've been looking everywhere for this book for longer than I can remember.
I mean, because usually, like, if something exists at the very least, right, that they'll have it at least, like, you know, that they sold one before within their.
I mean, I suppose it's possible that the newsstand is on the back. They didn't really do that during this era that often. But where the newsstand is, the hunt begins, which is kind of ironic because I've been hunting for a newsstand for this goddamn book forever. You know, where it would normally be. I've never. So I said maybe it's possible there's a newsstand on the back cover of this book.
Shoot, just finding 52 is tough enough. Let alone
I grab these whenever I see them, but I've always wanted a newsstand of this and haven't even been able to find a picture of one. So anyways, Leg says it's not on the back. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't think so for this era band. Like this, they weren't doing that. So
maybe the title wasn't like popular enough to
but I know, like, I think issue before and after there's newsies for this book.
Yeah, because I'm looking on my comic shop. They don't have one for 51 or 53 listed.
Maybe check Go Collect to see if they exist.
So I like to use comics.org is a website I like to use because it's like a giant database, and they usually if someone scans their copy of it or whatever, they'll add it to their gallery where it has like the direct version, the newsstand, the blah 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 version.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see it for this.
I mean, they definitely had newsstands for issue 50. That's the green foil embossed cardstock cover.
Yeah, see,
I've got one.
See, I see that listed on here on this database that I'm using.
You think? I mean, that would be weird for Marvel to kill the newsstand. And during this time period, right? This was a very, heavy newsstand period for comics. But I suppose it's possible that they were just providing it directly to stores.
Maybe
they wanted to keep the ad on the cover.
And that could be a thing, right? What is that? On the bottom, what does that say? John, what is that?
It's Dragon something or other. Dragon.
Looks like it's for Dungeons and Dragons.
It's something like that. Yeah.
Alrighty.
All right.
So
Let's get that.
challenge out there, or if you have a source that cites that says why they don't have a newsstand of this, we'll give you credit for that as well.
Please just let us know if you can figure what the deal is on this one. But I've been looking for
We're curious nerds that need to know the answer.
All right. This is from our friend E-Man Tony Smokes. This is a Jim Ballant cover from Shattered Earth #3, Eternity Comics from 1988. This is not an easy book to find, and people are asking $20-$25 for this thing on eBay. I love finding these old Eternity books when I go out digging. So great shout out, Tony. Thanks for the submission, man, if you're watching. I might have this somewhere, only because I tend to grab this kind of stuff when I see it, but I couldn't find it.
I don't know why it's like the lack of gravity is making like her boobs like rise. It has that kinetic feel to it.
I almost made this a thumbnail, but then I was like, kind of like, can I get in trouble for this? I don't know.
The tears, though, man, the tears have gravity. They're just streaming down her face.
Oh yeah.
I found the picture of the newsstand, guys.
No way.
Of course, way.
I'm put you on big screen right now. Boom.
Okay, here's the newsstand without the dragon's lair or whatever, and then.
But there's no. I've seen, but I think that might have been a solicited issue, Joe. I saw what you had there, but I think that might have just been what they solicited because there's no newsstand, there's no barcode on it. I don't know if that was what was in the solicit or not, but I've seen that picture, but I haven't seen an actual picture of the comic book.
Honestly, I'm thinking that's the newsstand. That it just didn't have anything there, and the barcode could be on the back of the book.
But then, how would the gas stations scan it?
Mm-hmm.
That one guy's gonna be mad.
This is typically what Go Collect does. They put the direct and the newsstand just like that.
They do sometimes. Sometimes they also just show like
a stock image or whatever.
Stock images of it, yes. So I saw that, but I just
But you didn't see it for sale, right?
A comic book of it anywhere, so I just kind of dismissed it. So maybe that's the case. I mean, I'm not. But
see, now I'm going to find out for you, Ben. I'm gonna get down to the details, buddy.
Joe wants to win this competition. Joe wants the credit for this competition.
Yes, I do.
All right.
I love this book.
Oh man. I believe Hunter gave us this suggestion, right? Right. This is Hunter. Yeah, I want to make sure I give him the props he's deserved. 9th, big friend of the show. Dude, if you're watching, man, this one's for you. X-Men Legacy number 225. Mike Carey 1 in 10 decade variant.
Mama!
Rogue striking a pose. Although Rogue has quite a tan in this. I mean, she looks well sunned.
It's bronzer.
Alt Universe Rogue.
What kind of surprised me was a 9.8 of this book hasn't sold since 2016. It's almost been a decade since this book has sold in 9.8, which is kind of crazy. Only 8 on the census, 3 in 9.8. But these decade variants are underappreciated. There's some really, really good ones out there.
I noticed that because I see these a lot. I'd be like, oh man, maybe these are finally worth something. And then I look it up and it ain't worth shit.
Yeah, they don't go for anything, right?
None of them.
And there's some big ones.
The time period variants. Yeah, I like the covers too because they do a really good job of capturing that time period that they're, displaying or whatever.
They're good looking books. There's a lot of like really good ones. I can think of, is it the Emma Frost one where she's blowing, the 70s one where she's blowing bubbles with like roller skates on or something? That's a badass cover. It doesn't really go for that much. maybe 10 or 15 bucks, something like that.
Maybe these were heavy ordered.
I mean, X-Men was heavily ordered during this time period, so 1 in 10 is not really that rare. And I don't even think all of these decade ones were 1 in 10s. I think some of them may have been open orders, to be honest with you. But they're good-looking comic books for sure.
Yeah.
All right, what do we have? This is also you, Carter, right?
Yeah. So, Deadpool versus Gambit 3. I don't know what this is a variant, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a cover.
Yeah.
It's just a cover B. I thought it was a ratio, to be honest with you, but it's just a cover B.
Yeah.
Miniseries.
And I came across this like a few years ago, and I was just like, "Damn, this is a great cover." I thought that this would hit eventually, but it hasn't. But I still like this cover.
Well, it's funny because like trading card, like this style of like with like trading is a thing. Like people collect this shit, right? There's like people who look for these books like this. So I agree, but I would say a 9.8 of this that just sold last month for $100 for an open order book isn't terrible.
That's pretty solid. That makes me want to consider grading my copy.
Right? I mean, that's not a bad sale for an open order book. No, it's in issue number 5. I think that was the last issue in the run. You know, stores aren't reaching for 5, so you know, for cover Bs on issue 5s at this point, they're done with it more or less.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I thought that was respectable.
It's a pretty good story too, from what I recall.
Yeah, I remember reading it. It was fun.
Yeah.
Hey, Adam, real quick. The She-Hulk issue was number 52, an Adam Hughes cover.
I'm not. Are there any available?
Are you talking about this book?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I know I'm still looking for that issue 1 con variant.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there are some available. They want like $20 or something like that for it.
People want $20 for this book?
Yeah, that's the like buy it now price that I'm seeing, and that's like the only one. That's the only one that I see though.
That's crazy. All right.
I've got this thing somewhere. It doesn't. I dig a lot, and I never see this thing, so it's relatively scarce.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure the only reason why I got one was because I pre-ordered it. Like, I definitely didn't see it on the shelf.
So it's a Scott Koblish cover. Koblish.
And he does a lot of Deadpool covers too.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I think he did a lot of he was the artist for the series after Daniel Way.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So he's done his fair share of Deadpool covers.
All right. This is a fun book. Carnage number 3. This is from the 2011 series by
the
Clayton
demon.
Crane.
The demon.
Love him, hate him, whatever.
The magician.
We let that demon into our house, and he broke it up.
This is a second print that is not the easiest book to come by. A 9.8 sold for $185 back in 2020. What's most notable of this is that while there's 46 on the census, there's only 13 in 9.8, which is a super low ratio for a modern book.
You know what, man? I made it a point to collect the subsequent prints for this series, and I thought I had like a full set, and no, because
you're missing this one.
Yeah.
I think this was the toughest one of the later printings from this run.
Yeah, because there was a time when these Carnage books, the Carnage USA, like those were hard as hell to find.
Yeah, all of them, right? I mean,
yeah.
Oh, that was like the top of the food chain for variants and for the second print game and just all of those answers in general. I mean, like look how much money that Crane has probably made off of doing the Carnage USA stuff with the Venom wrapped with the flag or whatever.
Yeah, man. He's
Yeah.
he's redone that thing countless
Well,
times, right?
Like it's just it's almost I don't want to say it's as bad as like a do you poo kind of situation, but like more like I don't even know, but not even on the level of like JTC, right? Of repurposing or redoing art. It's I don't know.
I mean, I'll say this: like, this cover is really well done. This is like a good looking. Like, the dude can draw.
Yeah,
But outside of this controversy, like, it's hard to argue about his talent.
right. I mean, but that's the whole idea of like never meet your heroes kind of situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Either. Yeah. So,
like perfectly said. Yes.
yeah.
Don't let them near your hose.
That's the follow up to that saying. Don't meet
Yeah.
your heroes and keep them away from your
from your spouse, from your SO.
Oh man, what a mess, huh?
I love that he was called a demon.
Who said that?
The guy.
Oh, the owner of that
Yeah.
that store.
Yeah, he called him a demon.
Oh, okay. I remember that video where he broke down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh man, that was something.
that was almost
I mean,
like hard
listen,
to watch. Like,
if you remember Seinfeld, they said you can't trust a man in a cape, right? So like
That's true, man. I mean, it looks like a mad magician, dude. He's like he takes his cloak off, like he's Captain Sky. You will bring Captain Solo and the Wookiee to me.
all right. I think we've
anyways,
got one left for tonight. So we talked about this X-Men Gold series before. So this is another second print from this run. A really cool Gambit cover. It's the same cover for the cover A, just the trade dress is blue for this one. Only 3 of these on the census, all in 9.8. But Gambit, he's sort of as cool as he is, and sort of the potential the character has, if done well on the big screen. This is a tougher book, but this is classic Gambit. I've never found the second print. I found several second prints from this run, but not this one.
I can't
doesn't
remember.
show up on eBay that often, if I recall. So
I can't remember if I have this or not. I don't think I do, but I do remember picking up a lot of issue 1s because of the controversial part.
yes, yeah, that was a big deal at the time. But yeah, we talked about the Shadowcat issue. Sorry, this is issue 4. I fucked this up. This is issue 4. We talked about issue 3, which is the Shadowcat issue, where she's on the cover. This is issue 4, so please excuse my typo. This is issue number 4. For those keeping track at home, 4.
Oh, okay. So yeah, this book is available.
They got a bunch of them?
Yeah. For
What are
like
they
cover
asking
price.
for it?
Cover price.
No shit, really?
Yeah,
On eBay?
Yeah, there's 2 for cover price right now available.
And it's gone.
Yeah, cover price plus what, like $5 shipping? So you're in for like $8, $9.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's still not horrible for a second print that has a low sense. But I mean, like,
I've looked these up. I mean, these were basically being ordered about 3,000 copies at the time, roughly.
Yeah,
right around there, which makes sense. But
Adam, this is X-Men Gold issue number 4 that has Gambit on the cover, where he's holding his lit up cards in front of his face.
Do we get Channing Tatum in Deadpool 3, man?
I would bet yes. But we'll find out in like what, 2 weeks when it comes out.
2 weeks, can't wait.
I figured it's just a bunch of cameos from a bunch of different people.
Yeah, they're gonna have a bunch of them. Yeah. But that movie's gonna hit. Ryan Reynolds is not gonna let that movie get screwed up. That movie's gonna break records for R-rated movies.
So make sure and help us break all kinds of algorithms. Give us a like, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss all the other great content on this channel. I'm sure one of these Fridays there's going to be a Nearing Nerdvana episode. I know in October Lucy's going to bring back the Spooky Tales with Lucy, or Spooky Tales with Mama Comics. Is that what the show was called? I don't remember, but I was on it, so I know we're bringing that back in October. Anyways, there's Saturday morning Toy Box. On Monday is Cover Lovers. Tuesdays Comic Book Women. Wednesday is This Week in Geek, and you're back here with us on Thursdays. As I mentioned, our sponsors earlier in the show. I forgot to mention Bird City, but big shout out to Bird City. Make sure you're using the code Nerdvana for a 10% discount on certain items. And make sure you're using one of the greatest tools in comics, which is Cover Price. And you can use the code Nerdvana14 for a 30-day unlimited membership for only 99 cents.
Somebody bought
the Deadpool. I mean the X-Men Gold.
No, Marvel Comics 1000. There was a 9.8 that sold for $56.
Wow.
No shit, man.
But wasn't that like less than what we last saw? Or was that close to what we saw?
I don't think I had any. I don't remember if I had a 9.8 listed on that, selling that or not. Maybe I did. But, yeah.
I'll look real quick. No, you did.
You guys are breaking the freaking rules. We're gonna get in trouble. Hey, hey, Bruce, thank you for that. You do not have to send me that Captain America, but I'm gonna send you this German X-23 book. So grabbed it for you when I was over there, man. So, but you do not have to send me anything, man. It's all good. But I do owe you that book.
Wow.
Ooh, Igor says thanks for
Strikeout.
There you go.
Oh,
15.
I mean, usually when we talk about these books, like I usually only go like one or two for whatever books we cover, not including the books I submit myself or whatever.
Yeah, dude, I don't have I don't have many of the books that we cover. So the goal is to talk about books you're not seeing talked about every day. I just have a little fun talking about comic books. We don't.
Yeah, man, just shaking the tree.
See, we're really here to collude with Ben Stein. And, make sure that like half these books show up in like his Stein packs. Like he shows.
What was that book that he had that we were talking about? And it was great,
dude. I was watching the show, dude. The number of books that we talked about on the show that like were completely like obscure. I was amazed. But no, the one that you guys talked about early was the Steve Mannion book. Like that book was. He had that book in a 9.8. Whoever got that, man, they got a nice freaking book.
That's a beautiful book.
Nice book.
What was that other book that we talked about? Wasn't there that pre-code horror book?
There was some dude. I should have jotted. I was listening to it today, and I'm like, my god, like there's so many throughout that show. I'm like, these are all like from. I mean, you mentioned it probably 4 or 5 times yourself, Aaron. Like, hey, we covered this book. We covered this book. We covered this book. So.
I tried not to do it every time, but like for the ones that were like, oh, I don't know if we ever talked about this book. Well, we talked about it. A long story short.
Anyways,
I fell down a rabbit hole, and I know this. You remember that one series, Die Hard Year One by Boom?
yeah.
I was talking to Dennis about it, and there's like a ghost variant that I think just sold, and it's Yippee-Ki-Yay Mother on the front of it.
That's a tough book. Yes,
And
it says yes.
there was a 9.0 on eBay, and I think it sold. But I was talking to Dennis, and he was like, "Man, that is a legit ghost."
That's a very tough book. I don't think we've ever talked about that one, but yes.
I think I talked about it with McClay.
I think on the Almost 10 once, maybe, or something like that.
Maybe it was that, like maybe a couple of years ago or something like that.
I think you got, I think I remember you guys talking about that.
But it is such a good premise because I remember when I saw Die Hard, and you know how you like, man, I bet a movie with him when he was coming up as a cop in New York would be good, and they just like shit the bed on that,
The series?
Yeah.
The series isn't good? It's not good.
Yeah. Dennis
Oh,
says
wow.
don't. He said you could get the trade if you want because the trades are out there, but like it's a shitty story.
Well, I mean, people really just want that phrase, right? The yippee ki
Yippee-ki-yay, man.
Yeah, I mean,
Classic.
it's the same thing with the X-Files cover, right? The UFO,
Yeah.
like they're out there or whatever.
Right.
No,
yeah.
but the artwork, some of the covers are badass because it has Bruce Willis like a young John McClane in NYPD cities or whatever.
Mhm.
So, anywho.
All right, we'll let these people go tonight. Hey, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it.
Oh yeah, any shows coming up for y'all?
Hot Book Alert live every Sunday.
Yeah,
night.
I'm gonna try and make it this Sunday, Carter.
Right on.
We have a lot of fun just going through crazy comic books on that show.
Yeah,
so
man.
I
if
never
you
Sunday-
like
know.
the show, you'll like that show.
Sunday and Mondays are my days of rest on podcasting.
Yeah, well, just tune in. Yeah, tune in.
I like watching. I'll watch
Yeah.
every so often. Like I'll play a video game and I'll listen in. And then and it's like one of those situations. I'm like, okay, is my computer set up? Like if it's set up, like, and then they're talking about something interesting, I'm gonna jump on.
Right.
Yeah. But then Joe and I will be on the Hot 10 tomorrow night.
Mañana.
And then I might try to schedule a whatnot sell just to get some extra funds, for the trip.
Come on, man. Help the boy get money for his trip.
Yeah, man,
Come
put
on,
some
help
stuff
the boy
up,
out.
dude.
on,
You
he
know I always buy from
He
you.
needs to eat. Can't starve. Buy some comic books.
Yeah, until people see the the restaurants I'm eating at in San Diego. I mean, I did pay for an expensive meal. Like I paid for one expensive meal beforehand, and I was like, I usually don't. I usually go on one expensive meal trip during a trip like this, but that's it. Like the rest of the time, I'm gonna eat as cheap as possible, or
Heck yeah.
I mean, without like digging out garbage out of.
Just buy some canned goods, bro.
Go to
buy
grocery
some Chef Boyardee ravioli, dude.
Dude, it's California. You have to have food stamps to afford any of the canned food there.
Hey, you said that. I didn't say that.
Yeah, you got to tear it off. You got to tear it out. Here you go.
Big Leg saying it's more than one. Yeah, you're with me. Okay, I forget how he does like to eat pretty bougie.
Yeah, dude. I wish I was gonna go out there this year.
I wanted to.
Shit
Yeah.
came up. I'm so pissed. I'd love to hang out with you guys out there.
But you know what? Corpus Christi Comic Con, bro. We've got Rachel Lee Cook, Lou Ferrigno, and Chuck
Rachel
Norris.
Lee Cook. I mean, that she was in She's All That, right, man?
Yeah.
That was the movie back in the 90s.
Now she's somebody's mom, bro. You know what I mean?
What happens in life, man? You become someone's mom or someone's dad or whatever, man. Like that happens.
Mama.
So I just want to know: does she still wear the glasses, or does she take them off
you
now?
know what? That'd be an awesome pickup. Hey, Rachel, can you put these glasses on for me?
Ooh.
Right, Mama.
Can you just kind of have them hanging off your nose, just like a little bit like this?
Yeah.
What was her name? Lacey Boggs or something like that?
Yeah,
Laney
something
Boggs
like
or
that.
something like that. Yeah.
Do you remember the one with Chris Evans? Not Another Teen Movie.
Yeah.
And the chick was doing the makeover on the girl. Look at that. I'm a genius, right? She puts takes the glasses off.
And then she runs into a wall, right?
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna drop off now.
She was also Josie.
Oh, she
Josie and the
was
Pussycats.
Yeah, Josie and the Pussycat. I love that.
That's right, dude.
Mm-hmm.
But so, which movie would you get signed?
Josie.
You would get Josie
a
over-
Pussycat
Hell,
comic,
dude,
bro.
Yeah, just grab any random Josie comic and you're good.
That's true. I forgot about that. That's a good point. I think Carter's on.
And there's a Chuck Norris comic. You get a Chuck Norris.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
you get a Hulk 181 and have Lou Ferrigno scribble all over.
Oh my god.
I mean, but you're in Texas, so whenever you buy a gun or a knife, they kind of hand you the Chuck Norris like, comment, the purchase. So, all right, we're gonna get out of here before we get
All right.
into any more trouble.
Thanks, guys.
All right, y'all have a good night.